Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's class session. Let's continue discussing about PIM setups. Log into the application with implementation user. Log into the application with implementation user. Navigate to setup and maintenance. Navigate to setup and maintenance. Navigate to product management offering. Select items functional area. Select show all task. So scroll down. Select manage item statuses. Select manage item statuses. So here we discussed about the item statuses. Item status is nothing but we have item defining attribute, item status attributes in e-business suite. But now as we have dependency on each other, Oracle will come up with a solution like all the 20 item attributes belongs to item status attributes. With the help of this particular setup, we can update those specific 20 item attributes in one go rather than disturbing the entire template by uploading the template or rather than doing manually. With the help of item status, so we video is not required, guys. Okay. With the help of item status, so we can upload, we can modify the 20 item status attributes. That's what we discussed yesterday. And this is the active development is the latest one. So I mean the latest item status which we got by seeded functionality in release 13 18.5 18.05 database update and inactive. So then if you want, you can copy or else that means you can duplicate or else you can create from the beginning. So which we discussed yesterday. I'm going to show you how to create one, but I'm not going to use that one. So but in your environment you can create any number of item statuses. You can create, guys. Select create new. So the code SCP underscore active status. So SCP underscore active item status. Then costing. If you apply this item status, costing is going to be costing enabled item attribute going to become S. So likewise, inventory asset value. So inventory asset value, if I apply this item status to any item, then inventory asset item attribute is going to make it as S. Inventory item will become S, the particular item attribute. Stocked, I'm going to update stocked item attribute as yes. Likewise, transaction enabled, I'm going to make it as yes. Invoice enabled, I'm going to make it as yes. Invoiced. So likewise, how many item attributes we have in total? How many item attributes we have in total?
20.
Item status attributes.
28.
20 in cloud application. In e-business suite?
72.
No. In e-business suite, how many item status attributes we have?
10.
10. And how many item defining attributes we have in EBS?
9.
9 item defining attributes we have in e-business suite. But now, do we have item defining attribute concept in cloud application?
No.
Do we have item defining attribute concept in cloud application?
No, sir.
No. I mean, what is item defining attribute? What it means? It will tell the nature of the item, correct?
Yes.
It will tell the nature of the item, correct? Item defining attribute will tell the nature of the item, and item status attribute will allow us to perform the transactions on specific item. Okay. Then so by using this SCP underscore active, I'm going to make all these yes. Sales order, related customer ordered and customer ordered enabled. So by default internally transferable is a no. I'm going to make it as yes. Transfer orders also I'm making it as yes. But I'm not going to implement any process manufacturing. But purchasing item attributes, I'm going to make it as yes. As well as purchased also yes. Similarly, taxable. So I'm going to make it taxable as, but web store and service contracts I'm not going to maintain at this moment. So built-in VIP is yes. Select OK. Select OK. Likewise, we can create our own item status by applying this item status. By applying this item status, we can default all these item attributes. We can default all these item attributes in one go. So you can make it one inactive also. Inactive nothing but all these status attributes. We can make it as no. You can make it as no. Select save and close. Select OK. So we created one item status and we discussed about life cycle phase also. Life cycle phase also. Okay.
Hi, Sarath. Yesterday we have stopped that one topic, right? Inherit and.
Okay. So we thought of writing in the notepad, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Correct. So just open our notepad document. It's our 08 September PIM setups. Just 1 second, guys. Just give me 1 second. I'm just getting on call. Okay. So we discussed about item status uses. Item status uses. So where, how many values we have? Tell me, what are the values we have in item status uses? One is none, correct?
Yes.
One is none. Another one is what? Default. Default. Another one is inherited, correct? Okay. I mean, forget about the remaining all functionalities. Forget about remaining all functionalities. So the main item usage will work for one of the purposes, item conversion purpose. One of the main purpose. Let's take an example. Item conversion purpose. Item conversion purpose. So if you are doing item conversion, let's take an example. If you are doing item conversion, so whenever you are applying item status usage, so by default, so we are going to apply these item attributes, item status attributes. But if this is none, then in the conversion process, with the help of applying this item status, we are not going to allow to change any item attribute. So we are not going to allow to change the item status attributes. Let's take one as this example. Then what is default? What is default? So a default will gives you privileges to override. So a default will gives you privileges to override. So a default item status will gives you privileges to override. And inherited. So what inherited means? Inherited nothing but system won't allow you to override the item status attributes, but we can change by changing the item status. We can update the item attributes by changing the item status. How exactly it will work? So let's go back to item status setup. So for example, costing and inventory asset value, what is the usage? Costing and inventory asset value, what is the usage?
Default.
So defaulted, it is defaulted. Another one, inventory, stock, and all these are none. So process manufacturing defaulted. So that means what will happen is all these sales order related item attributes which we are going to control at master level or controlled at organization level. So we are not going to allow to change. We are not going to allowed to change manually. So if you apply item status, but with the help of item template, if you are updating, then yes, we can override. But if this is a default and nothing but, so by default it is no. Let's take an example: attribute value set as no and usage defaulted. That means when you apply this item status, by default you can see in the process manufacturing recipe enabled item attribute as no, and usage defaulted nothing but there manually. So we are going to override at what time usually. And all these concepts what I have written is ideally it will works for conversion process or item import process. Item import is a so conversion process with the help of FBDI. We are going to do that one, file based data interface. So at the time of file based data interface, are you going, so for those things are you going to allow to override or not, will tell by this item status usage, okay. Remaining normally if you are creating any item, you can update any time. There won't be any restriction, okay. So then, so select save and close. So we discussed about life cycle phases and item statuses. That is fine. So anyone heard about item type concept? Same we have in EBS. Item type nothing but just it will tells us the type of item. Let's take an example: purchased item. We will say purchased item. By opening the item, we will say purchased item. We will say finished good item. We will say ATO item. We will say tool item. Like that, we used to pronounce some item with some form like. So what type of item it is by opening the item. Okay. So how system will know that whether that is a purchased item or not? First, so you created the item. How system will come to know that whether the item is a purchased item or not? How system?
By enabling the purchasable.
By enabling the purchased and purchasable item attributes, system will come to know that whether the item is a purchased item or not. By enabling the item structure and BOM, we will come to know, the system will come to know that it is a manufacturing item or finished good item. But for user point of view, for example, I opened one item. So I just want to know whether that is a purchased item or make item from user point of view, or ATO item or tool item. How users will know? Is every user have understanding on all item attributes? Usually, is warehouse people are each and every user will know the all the item attributes?
By giving in user item type, we can
user item type. Users will know the what type of item it is. User item type is just a naming convention which we are going to use for quick and easy reference for end client users. User item type setup is which we are going to use just for a naming convention which the end users will understand easily. That is the only functionality we have for user item type, and it don't have any other functionality in EBS, and same in cloud application also. Then go to manage item types. So manage item type setup is a lookup setup. The lookup type is EZP item type lookup. So meaning user item type, description, create and maintaining type of items, and the lookup configuration level, user level. That means user manually going to configure this lookup. This lookup where it will populate will be decided by Oracle. Like this from this lookup in template we can populate these values. At the item creation form we can populate those values. All those functionalities are inbuilt functionalities defined by Oracle. But what we can do, so whatever values you want to create, you can create. By default, you can say all these seeded values. So ATO item, ATO model item, ATO model manufactured, ATO model purchased, option class item, configured item. If you see like this, finished good item, all these are just lookup values. So we can delete this lookup. We can create a new value in this lookup code also. We can create a new value in this lookup. So anything we can do, and this particular functionality don't have any other things, just a reference purpose, this particular setup. So if you want, you can create your own lookup code. So just add a row, add a row. So just some lookup code SEP underscore PO, just writing some something, just John dot 2018. So meaning, what is the meaning? So SEP underscore purchased item, purchased item. Just it will tell the users that this item is a purchased item, that's all. So but we are giving a clear naming convention with our own format, our own format. SCP underscore FG, let's take an example. So one dot John dot 2018. So SCP underscore finished good item, finished good item. So for example, there is an item which we are using as a toolkit item. So then for easy reference purpose to understand for users, you can just mention like, so a tool item, that's all, just for a naming convention. But end of the day, the item will works based on which, based on what? Item functionality will works based on what?
Item statuses.
Item attributes. Item attributes, based on item attributes the functionality will work, but just this is a reference purpose, this is a reference purpose. SCP underscore tool item. So this tool item nothing but just from front end user will know that this is a tool item, but the tool item functionality will work based on the item attributes, based on the item attributes only. Select save. Likewise, you can configure n number of values in this lookup, and this lookup is configured for item template area as well as item area. So in those item template, use item type where you can see all these list of values. Same in item creation form also, you can see all these list of values just to update for a quick reference for end user. That is the only functionality. Select, save and close. So we created a item type. We created a item type. Then we said that we have item attributes. We said that we have item attributes. There, the item attributes we divided as a item status attribute, some 20 item attributes. But total we have nearly, how many item attributes we have totally? Tell me. So anyone tried?
Items table.
No, I mean, my question is totally how many item attributes we have?
No, sir. In EBS we have 256 or something.
216 something in EBS. Similarly, in cloud application also close to 200 item attributes we have. So that's fine. So we are going to update the item attributes based on by using item template, or by manually we are going to update item attributes. So I'm creating item at item master level and assigning that item to organizations. But at what level we want to control that item attribute? Whether I want to control that master level, item master organization level, or control that organization level. So controlling at item master organization level, nothing but, so for example, purchased item attribute is there. Let's take an example. So usually purchased is controlled at organization level, not at master level. Let's take inventory item. So let's take inventory item is one item attribute. So which I am controlling at master level. That means if I enable inventory item attribute as yes, then the same value will update as a yes for all the organizations associated for that item. That is what controlled at master level. Controlled at organization level, nothing but we need to enable or disable individually for each and every organization. That is what item attribute control. So that means whether the item attribute should control at master level, nothing but at IMO level we are going to update, and those changes will applicable to all the child organizations associated for that item, or else controlled at organization level. So if you update it IMO level, it won't update to Hyderabad inventory, as well as if you update it Hyderabad inventory, it won't update it Bangalore inventory. Every organization we need to update manually. We need to update manually. That is controlled at organization level. So which setup will allow you to make these changes? whether the specific item attribute controlled at master level or organization level, which setup will allow you to change that one. For example, purchased, I want to make it controlled at master level. Purchasable, I want to make it at controlled at organization level, for example. So which setup will allow you to make these changes in e-business suite? I mean, I think
And
everyone is able to
attributes,
right?
we can give 2 values will be there, right?
Yeah, I mean,
For
which
each
setup?
attribute.
My question is which setup? Is there anything like attribute group control setup in e-business suite? We have attribute group control, nothing but attributes we are going to divide it into groups, functional groups, nothing but inventory item attribute group, purchasing item attribute group, order management attribute group. Likewise, we are going to divide item attributes into functional area of groups, and so each and every group, in the specific group, what are the item attributes controlled at what level will be decided by attribute group control setup in e-business suite. In cloud application, we will say manage operational attribute groups. Manage operational attribute groups. So here, what are the attribute groups we have? Asset management, costing, general planning, inventory, invoicing. All these are item attribute groups. Whatever, for example, let's place cursor on inventory. So you can see what are the item attributes belongs to inventory attribute group. You can see here. One thing, we cannot remove one attribute group, or else we cannot create a new attribute group. Second thing, so for example, if inventory, all these are item attributes related to inventory group. You cannot add a new item attribute to inventory group, as well as you cannot remove the existing attribute from this specific group. What you can do is, you can change at what level you want to control that item attribute. Only you can change at what level you want to control that item attribute. That's the what you can do it. But you cannot add or remove any group or add or remove any item attribute from this particular setup. So same purchasing. So purchasing, allow purchasing document description update controlled at master level. That means if I enable this item attribute as S at IMO, then automatically that item attribute will become S for child organizations also. Asset category controlled at master level. If I enable asset category as S at IMO level, automatically at child organization level it will become S. And at child organization, nothing but, for example, Hyderabad inventory, you cannot modify that one. If you want to modify, you have to modify at master level only, master organization level only. So likewise, at what level you want to control, you can modify this setup. By default, we have some seeded setup, and based on your requirement, you can change this setup anytime. You can change this setup. So at what level you want to control, you can change this setup anytime. So then what I will suggest for everyone is, if you want to get knowledge on which item attributes belongs to which group, let's take an example. Then my sincere request, for example, prepare your own Excel document. So first, let's go to export, select, save, open with, select OK, select yes. Okay, first open a Excel likewise, and then just copy. For example, asset management, just create your own Excel sheet, just rename it and asset management. Again, come back, scroll, export to Excel this document, select OK, select S. So then what are the item attributes you have? So just copy, here just paste here. So likewise, you will come to know what are the item attributes is there. Those item attributes belongs to which functional group, you will come to know. So you can prepare a Excel format like this for your own reference, or else whenever you want to know, just come back here and verify the setup. Okay guys, it's up to your wish how you want to do that. And I have a document, but I won't share, because if you are learning, you have to spend time. That is the reason. Even I have a document, I'm not going to share it. Okay, because everyone can do this, right? So if you do on your own, So you will definitely will spend some time and you will listen. You will just go through it. Okay, just prepare your own document. So on how, what are the attributes belongs to which group? So you will come to know some knowledge. Okay,
Okay, sir.
clear for everyone?
Yes.
Okay, then select save and close. So this is the operational attribute group control. With this setup, we will control the item attributes at what level. Sorry, with this setup, we will decide at what level we need to control the item attributes, whether at master level or organization level. Then we have one more setup: manage item attribute groups and attributes. Just open this setup: manage item attribute groups and attributes. So here, just search it. So you won't see anything. So because what it is, okay, sorry, we will find some details. Just wait for, okay. So what it is, tell me. What is it? Someone please read.
Item EFF.
EFF. What is EFF means? In cloud application, EFF means extensible flexi field. So in e-business suite, we have two types of flexi fields. What are they? In EBS.
Key and descriptive.
Key flexi field. So with the key flexi field is a Oracle seeded concept. With the help of key flexi field, we are going to define structures like inventory key flexi field, business group related key flexi fields. Likewise, we have the functionality. DFF nothing but with the help of descriptive flexi field, we are going to maintain any additional information with the help of DFF, descriptive flexi field. So then in cloud application, we have KFF, so key flexi field, we have DFF, descriptive flexi field, as well as we have EFF, extensible flexi field. With the help of EFF, you can create a new columns, and you can capture those details in some other areas. So that DFF, just you are going to maintain additional information, but if you want to maintain any validations through web services for any other purpose, we are going to use EFF, extensible flexi field. So by using this EFF, you can create our own data, and these things we can use across application through web services or any other purposes. Again, we need to write those codes and everything. So these all are EFFs only: demo, item types, country of origins. So by using these EFFs, you can integrate to any area. You can integrate in any area. Let's take an example. Just edit one. Edit one. So here, with the help of this EFF, so these are the item attributes will come into the picture. Last update, managed by, quantity on hand, all these details. Then how we are going to use this one, style to some SKU or master to child organization. What is the privileges, associated categories. So for which categories we are going to associate this EFF, electronic components item category, associated pages, where you are going to associate it. See, in usage in item page, we are going to use this one. Likewise, we have a concept of extensible flexi fields. This is different. So why I open this one is just I want to ensure you that manage item attribute group and attribute setup is different. Manage operational attribute group setup is different. With the help of manage operational attribute group, we can control the item attributes like master level or organization level. And if you want to create any new item attribute, so with the help of extensible flexi field, we can create a new item attribute. Then how you want to use it? So again, we need to write the functionalities. We need to use the functionalities, but those won't act as a default item attributes, just for additional purposes. DFF nothing but just additional data only, but EFF nothing but. So by using the data, we can maintain validations and other data, other stuff. That is the reason we have a concept of EFFs in cloud application. EFFs is common across application. Even we have EFF concept for order management, for pricing, across functional areas, we have EFFs. So if you want to find any custom solutions, so EFFs will allow you to some extent, not complete custom solutions.
Sharath, Sudarshan here.
Yes.
So This I mean manage item attribute group and attributes is only for this EFF or we have other
Only
functions?
for EFX. That
Only
particular setup is only EFF.
Okay.
So that is the
Sarath,
reason just I opened. So this is the setup which will gives us control to manage the item attributes like
Yeah.
master level or organization level.
Okay.
This is just EFF concept which we can use for so any some custom solutions with the help of EFFs we can achieve, but not complete custom solutions.
Okay.
Sarath means if we create one record means it will be act as one more attribute.
No, yeah, it won't act as attribute. So that's what I'm saying. Just for one thing, it will give us some additional information. Another one is with that EFF value, we can go with some validations, some web services validations like that. Okay, it won't act as another item attribute.
Okay.
Item
Sarath,
attributes will be decided by Oracle itself, and there is no change in functionality of item attributes also.
yeah, Sarath, Akash here.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Where it gets reflected means suppose I define some
Yeah,
item.
so that's why once we open the item form, I will show you. For example, so let's take an example: manage item attributes, attribute groups, and attributes. So just let's open an example. So select search. So we say item extensive fixable, right? So for example, this additional information, select edit. So where it is associated, in which phase it is associated. So it is associated at item page. Just will show you. So once we create item, I will show you. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this is
Okay.
associated
Thanks.
for item page only, right? All these things. So we'll show you at the time.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Okay. Then this is fine. So let's go to. So far, what are the setups we discussed? So just I will make a note. So just to avoid the confusion, setup document. So till business unit only we have written, it's okay. I will return remaining things later. Inventory related, product information management. Okay. So then the setup. So manage item life cycle phases, which we discussed. Then manage item statuses. We discussed this one. Manage item types, or else you can say user item type also. We discussed on this one also. Manage operational attribute group control. So these are the setups which we discussed. Then let's go to item profile options. Let's go to manage item profile options. So the first profile option is ECP display images. So what it will do, so this with the help of this ECP display images, so whenever you are searching an item in any form, okay, so someone please give me example, a couple of forms where you are searching for an item. So in inventory, tell me a couple of areas where we are going to search an item detail.
On hand
Manage on hand quantity, correct. And
reservations,
material transactions, pending transactions. In anywhere we are going to search item details, correct? System will allow you to search item details.
yes.
So same, whenever you are searching an item, whether a image will come, for example, you are sent an image to the item, image will populate. Okay, first thing, if you implement standard inventory module, can you attach any image for the item creation form, not in the attachments? So that means, so for display purpose, can we attach any image in e-business suite inventory module? Can we attach image? No.
Sure, as of my knowledge, in inventory we cannot do, but we have iStore concept, right?
No, I mean, procurement, I store, those are different. There we are going to assign items to the stores. That is different. Not everyone is going to implement iStore or iProcurements. First thing. For standard inventory, we cannot do. Yeah, in iProcurement, for example, iProcurement or iStore, yes, we can add images. But is everyone going to implement iStore?
Not necessarily.
So not necessary. So that is the reason. In standard inventory, can we assign any image to the item in EBS? No, we cannot assign any image. So usually we will create code description like that. We are going to create item, right, guys, in EBS.
Yes, sir.
Then in PIM module, we have a option to assign image in e-business suite. But in cloud application, by default, we are going to implement product information management, where we can attach any image for display purpose. But once you attach any image, whenever you are searching this item in any functional area, whether the image also should display in item search results. So specify if image should display in item search results. If yes, yes, it will allow. If no, then system won't display the item search results with images. System won't display. I'm making note. That means system won't display any images. If we have images, still system won't display. If we yes, then system will enable us. And you can write small letters or I mean, so anything is fine. But yes or no, you have to write. That's it. Select, save and close. And this is applicable at site level. That means across application, this functionality will work, not for your business unit or not for specific IMO. So whatever you are going to do these item profile option changes, these will applicable across application. So this is the first one. Then ECP updatable item. Let's edit. So can you update item number once you save it? Can you update in e-business suite?
No.
So if you want to allow to update item number, you need to make it as yes. But even if you make it as yes also, if you perform a single transaction also, system won't allow you to update. Clear? If you
Yes.
perform a single transaction also, system won't allow you to update, even if you make it as yes. Without creating any transactions, without performing organization assignment also, just in the master item form, by mistake you given a wrong name, and if you want to update, this profile option will allow you. But if you do single profile, if you do single transaction, or if you assign to any organization, then even if you make it as yes, still system won't allow you. So by default it is no. That means once I create item number or item name or item code. So usually some people will pronounce as item number. So here in cloud application we will say item number. So in e-business suite we will pronounce as item code. Some people will pronounce as item name. Anything same. Okay, don't get confused. So anything, it is same only. Okay. So once we save it, we cannot change the item number. Okay. So with the help of this profile option, we can control it. If you make it as yes, we can update the item number. But if that item is created in only IM1 and it shouldn't assign to any child organization and it shouldn't perform any transactions. I mean, of course, if we assign to child organization only, then only we will perform transactions. So without just if that created and not assigned to any inventory, then yes, you can update this item number based on this profile value, or else no.
Sharath, do we have any provision still it's being assigned to any child organization? If we want to change still, do we have any workaround for that?
Just you need to create one more item and you need to make the item which you don't want to use, you need to make a subsolid. Okay?
Sharath, only the pending, if we have pending transactions only, it will not allow us to update, right?
Not pending. Even if you perform an organization assignment also, still system won't allow you. Just you created item in item master form and you find it is just some small mistake in the item number, then system will allow you. But if you create an item and you just assign to inventory also, but if you want to make change, still system won't allow you to change it.
We cannot disable again coming back and no pending transactions, and then we'll
No,
disable.
I mean, forget about pending transactions. Even system is not allowing to do once you perform organization assignment itself.
So we can remove the organization assignment, right? If we want to update the item description, item number, and then we can go ahead and update, right?
I mean, yeah, I mean, your question is okay. So, I mean, that's a logical question, but still system won't allow you. The
It's
logical
still-
question is fine, but
Okay.
still system won't allow you. Okay. Once you save it, system won't. I mean, once you save after performing the organization assignment, even if you want to remove also, system won't allow you. I mean, your logical question is correct, but it won't. The application functionality won't allow you. Okay.
Okay.
Select, save and close. This is fine. So these are the two item profile options. Display images, whether so whenever we are searching this item in search results, whether the image should display or not will be controlled by this item attribute. And can we update item number once we create item, once we save it, so will be controlled by this item attribute. Then what is this item import for threads? What is this item import? Okay, so what is item import process meaning? Why we are going to use item import? Tell me.
To import the items from existing system.
So from any legacy system, so if you want to convert the data, we will go with conversion process. Migration or kill announced source concept, but still there is a lot of bugs and no one is using. So first thing, so someone may come with that we have Orkill source solution. So Orkill source is a one-time upgradation or migration from EBS to or any other environment to. So Orkill cloud, so it's automated cloud migration is announced by Laurie Ellison 3 months ago, but still this one has a lot of issues. Okay guys, so no one is using. You have to clearly, so we all know that. So Orkill announced, that means it's working, that's what you can feel. But this automated migration is functionality is not yet available, and still so some 4 to 5 companies are working on this prototype solution. That is different concept. Then migration to cloud application, first thing is not easy. There we need to go with lot of web services to migrate. So the better way is conversion process for a implementation project. If you want to load the data, the better process is available is conversion process. If you want to migrate, yes, you can do migration also. So but you need to write your own web services, and even a couple of companies. Okay, just let me pause recording. So that means, so for any project, if you want to implement a project, you need to load the data. Okay, what is our government policies? What is US government policies? How long, I mean, how much data you need to maintain? How many years of data you need to maintain? What is US government policies to maintain the data? Minimum 15 years, right? Minimum any business, if they are operating from last 15 years, they should maintain. Of course, if they are maintaining from so last 10 years, they have to maintain until 10. But if they are operating from some 30 years, still they need to maintain at least last 15 years data for auditing purposes. Correct me if I am wrong. Government policies. So likewise for any data, so if you want to convert into the, if you want to load into the application, we are going to use conversion method. So same, forget about 15 years data items. I have some 1 lakh items. Then how you are going to get all those 1 lakh items to our cloud application for implementation? How we are going to get all those 1 lakh items in application? If I have, for example, if I have some 100 items, for example, some 100 items I need to create, then we can use data loader, for example, in EBS. Remember guys, data loader concept.
Sir.
So, but if you have 10,000 items, are you going to use data loader?
It's better to go for conversion.
Conversion process. Same in cloud application, we need to go with conversion process to load the items or any data. For more huge data, for specific data, some limited data, for few functional areas, we have a concept of ADFDA, Application Development Framework Data Interface, as well as still if you want to load through Excel, so you can create a Excel file and you can create a web services also. That's again, that's a customized solutions which we can utilize. But a standard data for all the across application, we have a FBDA process, file based data interface. With the help of file based data interface, we are going to load the data. Okay, file based data interface, forget about file conversion, you say conversions. So anyone work for conversion process in your experience?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is the process?
First, we will get the flat file, then we will load into the staging table. Then
So
we
first,
will
flat file is fine, but how you are going to get flat file? First, you need to create a template, correct?
yes.
First, you are going to create a template, then you are going to test that template, then you are going to create a flat file, nothing but CSV file, then you are going to load from the backend. That is the process. Same like by default here, the templates are available, and we are going to load the data in the templates, and we are going to load to Universal Content Manager, follows to load interface file. But here we have a difference in release 13 from 18A update, like without loading to UCM. View data we can directly load to interface file also. That option is available from release 13 18.0 to update only. Okay, I mean, forget about all those things. That means we are going to convert the data. So again, the conversion process from backend we can do that one, or else we have a concept of item import. So on a regular basis, we are going to create items. One-time conversion is different. One-time conversion is different, where I am going to convert some 1 lakh items through FBDA process, or 10 lakh items. But after that one, we are going to create a regular basis, some 100 items. For example, every 1 month, I am going to create some 100 new items. So rather than creating all 100 new items, so everyone will expect some custom solution, correct? Rather than creating manually.
Yes.
So, but here we don't need to go with any custom solution. So directly with the item import scheduled process, we can, any data if you want to create, usually we will format in Excel data, Excel sheets. So in real time, so from that Excel sheets, we can load the data into the application through scheduled process, item import process from application functionality wise. Item import, there is two different things. One is through conversion item import, so where we can load lakhs of items also. Another one is just from front end offerings wise, we can have a task like import item data. With the help of that item import also, we can load the data. But what is the limit? If you are using setup and maintenance, that's particular task is going to be controlled by these two profile options. Item import items per thread, number of items per thread will be controlled, those two. So for example, so we say conversion, you say that one flat file or one CSV file, so you created to load items. So flat file or CSV, anything is same, just naming convention, just people will pronounce it separately. So in one CSV file, how you are going to load the item? Through threads or not? Are you going to create threads or not?
Yes, you mean batch IDs?
Batch IDs, nothing but threads. So how many batches maximum you can load when you are using front end setup and maintenance task? Setup and maintenance task. This profile options controls for setup and maintenance task only, not complete FBDA conversion process. Okay. So then, so let's take an example, 20 threads. So the maximum I am going to allow 20 threads, nothing but 20 batches. Again, in each batch, how many items you are going to load? Maximum, how many items in each batch? Again, it's up to our decision, correct? How many for each batch we will decide. For example, 50 items in each thread. So that means in one time loading the data, how many maximum items we can load? One time loading the data for one time,
1,000 items can be loaded.
1,000 items. So this is what is the maximum will be controlled by this profile option. So EZP item import items per thread, select edit. The maximum 20. So that means maximum we can maintain 20 threads. So if you want to allow 50 threads, yes, you can improve. So here determines the number of items to be imported in each thread, help users to improve the performance. But again, I'm clearly saying this one is a restriction for the import process, which we are going to do from setup and maintenance product management offering task, but not for FBDA. not for FBDA conversion. Select. Sorry.
Sarath, I have a question here. So in other words, you're saying, right, the threads and the records, number of records is linked to. So let's take an example. By using FPDI, I am loading a 1001 items. So
Okay.
since we set the limit for 1000, so for the
No,
first,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. This limit is not for FBDA conversion. From setup and maintenance, we have a direct task item import task is there. If you are doing from there only, this is going to restrict that. From FBDA, there is no restriction.
okay, although if you're doing from the same process, we are trying to load from 1000 plus items. So since we
Then,
put it,
yeah, I mean, what will happen is, so initial 1000 items will load and the remaining will error out. So it won't error complete file. So it will error, it will load 1000 items, then it will fail. Remaining item will fail. In the log file, you can see that. So 1000 items loaded, one item is not, I mean, in error status like that you can see. Again, you need to load it back, that particular item. Let's take an example. Okay. It won't fail entire file. Okay. Whatever errors is there, only specific lines only it will fail. Earlier, so in conversion process, for example, if line 5 is has error, then from line 5 onwards it will stop. Cut me if I'm wrong. But here, if line, I mean, forget about this process. Even standard FBDA conversion process also, if line 5 is error, then it will skip that line 5 and 6, 7, 8, all those going to load. That's the process going to follow in cloud. Okay. One error won't prevent complete loading. Okay, then so we are maintaining maximum 20 threads. That means it's not mandatory to maintain 20 threads every time. So, but maximum we can maintain 20 batches.
Sarath?
Then, yeah.
I lost it. When are these going to be used? Like FTBA, you said it's not for that FTBA. Any number of records can be loaded. But when are these going to be used, Sarath?
Okay. Okay, select done. Select done. So we have a concept of Navigator. So scroll down. So here file import and export. Through file import and export, we can load the data into Universal Content Manager. From Universal Content Manager, we can load the data into the application interface tables to base tables, or else directly through scheduled process load interface file also. Now some setup data directly we can load. This is the conversion process. This file import and export is a FBDA conversion process. But a part of this FBDA conversion process, items is a regular on a regular basis. Usually we are going to create a new items. In that scenario, rather than creating the new items manually, rather than going every time with the FBDA process, go to product management, go to product management. So navigate to product management. So through FBDA, you can load n number of items, 10 lakh items also, but the performance is some issues, but you can load any number of items. But a part of FBDA process, same conversion, same importing from the setup and maintenance, navigate to product management, select show all task. So scroll down, where is this one item? See, upload item data, import items. From here, if you are logged into the application, and from here, if you want to load, then here we can restrict from this particular setup. If you are loading, how much data you can load will be restricted by this item profile options. Okay. So from here, so if I'm loading from that particular task, then maximum I can maintain 20 batches. That is what I decided by items per thread. If you want to maintain 50 batches also, you can maintain. So I am maintaining maximum 20. That means, so you can maintain one batch also, but maximum you can maintain 20 batches. So then item imports per thread. So select edit. So in one batch, how many maximum items we can load? Let's take an example 50. That means, so in one batch, maximum we can maintain 50. That means one time if you are loading the data from setup and maintenance, product management, upload item data, maximum you can load 1000 items, but still you can load 2 items also. Maximum, that is the control. But if you follow from tools, file import and export, that's a FBDI conversion process. From there you can load 1 lakh items or 10 lakh items also. Okay. But 1 lakh items through loading to UCM will take 2 minutes time. It won't take much time, but load to interface file, at this moment, if you go with a public cloud environment, so 1 lakh items data will take minimum of 4 hours. But the advantage with this cloud application is it won't stop any other functionalities. You can directly do your own operations and everything. It won't stop anything. Earlier in conversion in e-business suite implementation, if we are doing conversion, are we going to touch the application? A simple question.
No.
But here there is no restrictions. You can do setups parallelly, it will load in the backend. Okay. Clear for everyone? What is this item profile option? Number of threads and other things.
Yes, Sarath.
Only
Sure.
we can load maximum 1000 items through application.
Maximum 1000 items when you want to use product management, so of items functional area, this particular task. Only here maximum you can load 1000. But if you want to go from here, a standard conversion, you can load 1 lakh items also. There is no restriction. Okay, guys?
Sharath, is 1000 is a cap that you're setting, or it's the limit that Oracle is suggesting?
No, we just set that cap. So threads maximum batches 20 I said, and each batch maximum 50 items. That's what I set it right with the item profile options.
Yes.
So we can make it 2000 or 500 or 100 also you can set it.
Any
So
cap for that? Any cap for that? Do we have to set in this bracket
no,
only
there
as
is
such?
no cap that, but the suggestible is the maximum some allow maximum some 500 items to 1000 items is the best scenario. If you go with public cloud environment, and even in real time also, no one will load on a regular basis more than 20 or 30 items. Okay, on a regular basis, maximum they will load some 20 or 30 only, right? Every day they won't create thousands of items.
Got it. Okay.
Hi, Sarath.
Yeah.
In through file export and import, you can say you told that we can import 1 lakh items like that, right?
That is a standard conversion.
Then what is the difference between through FDI process and this one?
So this is also a BDA process only. But usually conversion team will take care of complete loading that much use data, and we are not going to give the privileges for across application, right, for everyone. We are not going to give the privileges across application, right? We are
Yes.
not going to give option for everyone to use conversion document, because they can load any data if you give that one.
Yes.
So that's why just for items, as it is a regular basis, so Oracle given that specific functional here also, specific task. Okay. Both are conversion process.
Okay. No, in the file and export means we will give a flat file and we will run item import, right?
So here also we need to generate flat file only, CSV
Okay.
file only. With the help of CSV file only we need to load. Okay.
Oh, okay.
But if you give file import and export, that means you are giving privileges to load any data. Cut me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Okay, even it is not giving. What is the reason? Let me check. Import items should work. Let me open. Import items. Yeah, okay. So same whatever it is there, just here also it is available. Okay. There is one big changes. Okay then. It's fine. So tomorrow we need some 1 hour 15-minute session. We'll discuss item class setup. So once we discuss item class and item template, we'll start creating one item. Okay.
will we do anything for load of 10 items through this process?
At the time of real-time scenarios, we'll do that one. We are going to do that. Not now. At the time
Okay.
of real-time scenarios, we are going to discuss BPM, APM. Sorry, now we don't have APM. We discuss the BPM, security concern, OTBI, FBDI, ADFDI. All these are our training course content only.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, it's already 9:06. So I'm going to close this session. See you tomorrow, guys. Okay.
Sarath, I'll call you after this.
Yeah, yes, Banu. Please call me. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.